And Dean, thank you I'm honored to be in the top 10. We believe, the most conservative record by all measure since I've been a senator in 2007. 16,000 votes gives you a pretty good measure of your record. But Dean, also thanks for putting together the forums. Several sessions. They're really several years ago and through this year. I have not missed one debate or one forum the entire time. In fact, in 60 days, our campaign did about 365 events in 60 days, nonstop. In fact, is today Saturday? I always know where I am, but not sure what the day is. On Thursday night, I was in Abilene, drove back, caught a plane. I was in Houston and Galveston last night. I'm here this morning. I'll be in Lubbock this afternoon. I'll be in, I'm not sure where, Monday or Tuesday. But we're on the road all the way to the election. We're not going to stop. We're going to run to the tape. I want to pick up something on the prayer. Because I think this is really important. And I'm not here to campaign this morning. I'm just here to say thank you, and thank you for your involvement and contribution to our conservative movement. You've all heard me say, and others are parroting this now, that if we lose Texas, we lose America. The electoral votes of New York, California, and Texas added together make it mathematically impossible to win the White House ever again. There'll never be another Republican in the White House in our lifetime. You just can't get there mathematically. So it really is down on us. And I can tell you that as I've traveled across the state, I've been so inspired and encouraged by people across the state who understand what's at stake. They get it. And in small groups and mid-sized groups and large groups and churches and tea parties and conservative groups and women's Republican clubs, they get it. And they're not about to let Wendy Davis or the Democrats take this state. You have to understand what's at stake here. The Democrats have a plan, obviously, to take Texas. If there was one state in America that if we could take that state, there'd never be another Democrat in the White House, let's just say it was Ohio. If we knew we could permanently put Ohio in the Republican category, that no Democrat could ever win, we would all be there. We'd write the biggest check we could write. We'd go and take our friends and we'd knock on doors. We would do it. Well, that's what they're doing. They're sending thousands and thousands of people to Texas. Wendy Davis raised $12 million in the last reporting period, July through December. Greg Abbott raised $11 million. So she raised $1 million more. You know where most of that money came from? California and the Northeast. So you have liberals in California and the Northeast trying to take over your state. And so people instinctively know that. It shouldn't have happened. One of the reasons I'm running is because the night of the filibuster. It should not have happened. I respect the Lieutenant Governor. I appreciate his public service. We've worked on some things together. We've opposed each other a time or two. That's part of politics, but it's just time for new, energetic, conservative leadership who's going to take on the Democrats. One of the things I've talked about from day one in the debates, I think we've had 26 debates and forums, is I'm not going to appoint half the Democrats to chairman of committees in the Senate. It gives them too much power. We need to change the 21 vote rule to 19 votes. That's a Senate rule. The Lieutenant Governor can't do that on his own. But I'm going to use all my influence as Lieutenant Governor to persuade 16 of 20 Republicans to cast the vote. Because if you don't know, to change the rules, we have 31 senators, it's just 16 members change the rules. We'll have, because we'll take the Wendy Davis seat back, we'll have 20 Republicans. When I started in 2007, I campaigned on that issue. I fought for that issue. I was told on the first day as a senator to basically sit down and shut up. You're a rookie. You don't get on the Senate floor and challenge the rules. And they said a little bit nicer than that, but I got the message. And I said, well, I might be a rookie, but my constituents aren't rookies. I campaigned on this, and I'm going to fight for this. And it was the first time in history, to my knowledge, pretty sure of this, that anyone had actually brought the rules that are decided in the back room out to the floor. And I made my case why the 21 vote rule was wrong, and I lost 30-1. But last session, there were about 10 of us that were ready to vote. And I think we could get to 16 this session. I'm going to do everything I can. And if we win this campaign, that being one of, come on in ladies, that being one of the tenets of my race for Lieutenant Governor, I'll have a mandate to say to the Republican members, this is what the people in your Senate districts wanted. This is what you wanted. And they want it, and hopefully we can change that rule. But I want to pick up on something, and I'll just wrap up. There's all this talk that it's inevitable that we lose Texas, as conservatives, as Republicans. As I've said in every speech, my TV commercials, I'm a Christian first, a conservative second, a Republican third. And my faith is most important. And if our party ever turns our back on the Word of God, or the words of Ronald Reagan, and the love of country of John Wayne, as I told a New York Times reporter, of what makes Texas different, I said, we love God, we love Reagan, we love John Wayne, love of country, that patriotism, then our country, our party's finished. But more than important than that, I've come to learn over the last several years in the legislature and as a candidate that the Hispanic population, they're with us on these issues. You know, you hear on talk programs, well, you know, we share so much in common with this, you know, the Hispanic population. But the issue, and we do, but the two issues that stand out, and probably the biggest issue, is the life issue. Now, I know not every Tea Party or every conservative puts life as an important issue. Most do, but not all. But if you're Hispanic and you're Catholic, it is the #1 issue for you. Eddie Lucio, who voted with us this year in our pro-life bill, goes to Mass every morning. And he told me the night that we finally passed the bill after the disastrous filibuster, he said, you know, Dan, tonight is the night a lot of my constituents in the Valley no longer vote for a Democrat. They didn't realize how radical this party was against life. Life that's born in the image of God. He said they always thought, you know, they believed that Bill Clinton really meant it when he said abortion should be rare but legal. And when you saw the Democrats on the floor, you know, anarchy, trying to overturn our government, based on what? Killing a baby at 5 months? As a new grandfather for the 3rd time, come on in. I just had our 3rd grandchild last Sunday, a grandson. I had a granddaughter about 3 weeks ago, and I have a 3.5-year-old grandson. I can't even imagine taking that life. But there they were celebrating that they had stopped a bill that would save lives of 5 months old. When I hear that we're going to have a problem with Hispanic votes over immigration, which I disagree, illegal immigration, because I think both parties in Washington have missed this issue. Mexican Americans, Hispanic citizens that are here, they want our border secured. There's so much crime that's coming across that border. They want it secure. They worked here. They came here legally. They are from here. They want people to come here legally. We've allowed the Democrats to say, if you're illegal, that means you're Hispanic. No. Illegal has nothing to do with ethnicity. Illegal is illegal. All right? And that's the message we have to get out. I can tell you 1 week in September, just this past September, we caught 6,000 people 1 week crossing the border. 2,200 for OTMs, other than Mexicans. They were from China and Nepal and Pakistan and Africa, Vietnam, everywhere. Now, many from Central America, but they're coming from everywhere. So both parties in Washington have missed this issue. But we hear that all the time, because the Democrats want to paint us under that banner, that we hate Hispanics because we're against illegal immigration. We will work through that issue, and we'll solve that issue. The Lieutenant Governor, I will secure the border. It is a law and order issue, nothing more than else. But the life issue, imagine if we were a room of Democrats today in Texas. We'd be saying, how are we going to keep that Hispanic vote and be a party that celebrates death? How are we going to be a party and keep the Hispanic vote when we really don't stand behind marriage between a man and a woman? They have a much mightier task than we do. A much mightier task. Because there are a lot of people, like many of you in this room, and many of the Hispanic Catholics, whether they're Catholic or not, many of the Hispanics, who will put God first over party, as we do. So I believe if we stand to our conservative values and principles of God first, this nation was founded on His Word, the Judeo-Christian ethic, the Old and the New Testament, the 10 Commandments. That's who we are as a nation. That's why we've been so blessed. As our friend John Hagee at Cornerstone Church says, who's endorsed me in San Antonio, he says 2 things. That nation, from Psalms, that nation who blesses Israel shall be blessed. And he also says any nation that does not use its freedom to defend its freedom will lose its freedom. So I'm very optimistic about the future. But I'm not optimistic if as a Republican Party we listen to those handful of voices that don't want us to stand for anything, that think it's too controversial to take a hard line, to stand for the Constitution, to stand for limited government, to stand for marriage, to stand for life. I want them to keep voting Republican. I want them in our Big Ten, but I don't want them ringmasters of our party. So I can assure you that as Lieutenant Governor, I will be a strong conservative. who will lead the way you want a conservative to lead. I was at a speech the other night at an event, a Lincoln Day dinner, and someone was speaking, and they said, we have to break the grip that Harry Reid has on the U.S. Senate, which we all agree, because Harry is relentless. Remember, the other side, when they're in power, they're relentless. We have to learn to be respectful, but we have to learn as conservatives to be relentless. Otherwise, we will lose the battle. Stand for God, stand for conservative principles, stand for the Constitution, stand shoulder to shoulder with each other. And when the primaries are over, folks, there are so many candidates. This is an historic election. There are more candidates running today than ever on one ticket in one party in the history of the country. We're going to have a new nominee for our governor, I believe for lieutenant governor, AG, controller, land commissioner, ag commissioner, railroad commissioner, plus all your local races. You know, there's Stockton seat has 12 people in it, and House seats have, 8, 9 people in it. There's so many people to choose from. When it's all over, no matter who wins, after the runoffs are over, there'll be a lot of them, we stand together as one party with one goal, to defeat the Democrats, and don't ever let them take Texas. Because if we don't stand together, if we get upset because our guy or our woman didn't win, or because, gosh, that person said something I didn't like, so I'm not going to be there, that's how we lose. And we have to convince our folks to vote straight ticket. I have Republicans all the time. They call on the radio show, go to my Facebook post. Dan, I'm an independent thinker. I don't want to vote straight ticket. I don't know all these Republicans. And I said, well, if you don't want to vote for a Republican you don't know, you're going to elect a Democrat you don't like. People don't understand. I'll give them a math model. I'll say, if 150 Republicans vote and 125 Democrats vote, who's going to win the race? Down ballot, judges, House seats, Congress. And most people who don't pay attention like you all do, say, well, the Republicans will win. More of them turn down. I say, well, if only 60% of Republicans vote straight ticket and 80% of Democrats vote straight ticket, let me tell you what, we may win at the top of the ticket, we're going to lose all the way down. Some people don't know you can vote straight ticket and go and delete someone you don't like. So it's not just showing up to vote. We have to wage war as they wage war. They vote straight ticket, they're going to continue to vote straight ticket. So we're going to have to convince more of your friends to vote straight ticket and explain to them the reason. You can still be an independent thinker, but you can vote straight ticket. So, thank you, Dean, thank you for having me. I'm going to leave here. We've got to head to the airport to get out to Lubbock. I really appreciate you all taking your time to come far on your nickel, and I hope to have your support for Lieutenant Governor. Spread the word, put it on Facebook, send out emails. That's the way the grassroots wins. So thank you very much. God bless and thank you, Dean. Appreciate it.